Take myself off mute. There we go. Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations. And I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Epic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And as always, like to say, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. Good morning on 2023 is coming to an end because it is December 22nd, the first full day of winter in this part of the world. And I haven't seen or spoken to this guy all week. And I said I messaged him 15 minutes before. Are you coming today? Because I don't know if you're alive. Yes. And Ryan Knight is here on the Morning Vibe. Go and happy belated birthday. We wished you happy birthday on Monday.
Thank you.
We wished you happy birthday on Monday. And also, there were a few people saying happy birthday, and I knew you couldn't come to the show because some school stuff. Everything okay with the school thing?
Yeah, actually, they wanted to let us know that now there's some arts thing that they were doing. The permission form wasn't signed, and that art project was awesome. It was like a snow globe. I thought that somebody had purchased it for us as a gift, but he made it in class. So it was pretty cool to see. That was my son, Christian.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Because I'm going, is there, Ron saying something's going on with Christian school? Okay, I hope everything's okay. So it's okay. Yeah, but that's great to hear. So Ryan Knight is here. This is our last show before some people celebrated Christmas. I know a lot of people that don't now these days, but that's a whole other conversation. We'll be doing a replay on Monday, but we'll be back on Friday a week from today for our year-end show. So I'm putting it out there. If anyone would like to come on for the year-end show, email me.
Okay, yeah.
It's an open invitation. If we have a Kwanzaa Jambalaya show, we'd love to do that. But before we do anything else, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button, and also follow the Dr. Vibe Show on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Also follow Ryan wherever he is on social media because he's on a lot. And also to advertise your business, product, or service on this platform or any of the platforms that I host, please email dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, and then join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Please email me dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. So what's been going on in your world, Ryan Knight? Money.
Well, sir, it's money season. So I'm trying to tell people the money is flowing. There's grants out there. And what I'm noticing is a lot of them need to get out the door before the fiscal year ends. So
of course,
seeing grants getting like short windows. American Express, I think, was open for like a 3 weeks. The Foundation for Black Communities, they have a grant that's closing February 1st.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to chat with you offline about that, but it's on my digital notepad to invite them to come on the show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think it'd be
Gladys.
It'd be very interesting to see. I'm going to put an invitation out there and see if they respond, see if they are really willing to get people into that. But we're going to discuss that offline because I think right now we're going to have an attack on that one.
All right. Hey, from all angles. Because it's important that they're giving out $8.9 million within 4 months. So this is part of the Black Endowment Fund that they got entrusted with through the federal government. So this is one of the first grant programs that's coming out of those dollars. So across Canada, even if you're not an incorporated nonprofit, you can be an unincorporated group of individuals or a collaborative.
Okay. Good question. Now, maybe this is what I want to ask you. Is it only for nonprofits?
No. So you can be an unincorporated group and still apply.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
you can't be incorporated?
No, so you don't have to be. You can be
you can be.
Oh, yeah. So
incorporated. The way I was reading through it and the way the wording is just sort of just make it simple.
You can't be a for-profit company. So if you're a for-profit incorporated company, you can't apply as your business. But this is where you can apply as just an unincorporated person with a team.
but okay, so I'm
Yes.
just trying to get some clarity here. Why not any? Okay, American Express is giving money out
Mhm.
for incorporated businesses, correct?
Yes, yes.
It's less money than what the Federation has to give out.
Yes. Remember, they have different mandates. The
Yeah.
Federation is focused on supporting community groups and projects.
Okay, so let me ask.
The foundation, sorry, the foundation.
Okay, I'm a black business. Oh, and their mandate is for nonprofits. So
Right.
let me ask you from your understanding, because this is the gala and Grant King here on your screen of Black Canada here. I'm an incorporated
Yes.
black for-profit business. Can I apply for that federation?
The answer is yes, but not as your incorporated for-profit business. So this is what I would encourage you to do. You know that media is important in the Black community. You should partner with other media individuals, create a Black media group, and
Nonprofit,
apply nothing, just
a
uh,
group.
a community group, and apply as an unincorporated group collaborative, and then do a media project in the community that will benefit Black individuals and Black residents. So this is where you should sit down and really strategize
Yeah,
what
well, that's why
impact
you.
you
This is why
have.
I'm not giving you a break over the holiday season. No, I'm
Yo,
being
this is important. You could probably get up to $100,000
well.
as unincorporated group.
This is what I'm saying, because like I was reading, going, okay, can't you just be clear? If you're a black owned business, for profit, incorporated, do you qualify? Yes or no?
No, so you
Okay,
don't.
so
Right.
that
And it's in their
they need to get
eligibility.
they need yeah, but they're eligible. Like for me, it wasn't clear. It
Well, it
wasn't
said
clear.
for-profit companies are ineligible.
Okay,
So you
there we
can't
go.
apply as your business. Right.
Okay, well, before we go any further, let's say good morning, Fitness IQ,
Good
KSF,
day.
EYL, RWFQ, Frequency Event Promotions. Good morning, good morning.
Yeah, good day.
You're saying what show date would that invite be for? A week from today, the 29th of December. So whoever would like to join in, email me and we can take up to 8 people. David Hobson says, what grants are there for real estate?
Nothing
And then,
specific. That's more the housing strategy. So you have to go
yeah.
through CMHC for real
So
estate
I
stuff.
need to get hooked up with all of them. Well, you should
Yeah.
probably contact Mr. Ryan on that. And then frequency event promotions. Okay, well, you know the date.
Yes.
Shirley, good morning,
Hey,
Shirley.
Shirley, hopefully you'll join that Black Media Collective that's going to be applying for this grant.
Yes, which will
Let,
be probably led by myself,
yes,
by the
yes.
way. So that's cool. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And I usually do not apply for grants, but as I'll put it publicly out there, I applied for the Ontario Raise, and then there was another one. I can't remember if there was another one. I don't know if there was an
Oh, you did the Desjardins one?
Desjardins, yeah.
Okay.
So I've put my toe in there, but I don't count. And again, don't rely on grants to run your business, family. Please.
Grants are bonus. That is like icing on the cake.
You really ideally you have a good running business, and that's an extra.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what it should be looked on as extra revenue to do that. Because if you are using grants for a stopgap measure, that means that there's a bigger challenge. That stopgap measure is only going to be a temporary. It's like a temporary band-aid. The band-aid's going to get ripped off. So what's the wound? What's the wound?
Right. And a lot of times it's lack of consistent sales. Like if you're not selling and generating revenue from your core operations, that's where things start falling off, like rent being late or not having proper inventory or equipment ready to scale up. Or even if you have good sales and then the execution and your team isn't functioning properly, that can create bottlenecks too.
Well, another thing too, what processes do you have in place?
True.
Because we go back to The Prophet. I remember in the early days of me knowing Ryan, I introduced him to this show called The Prophet. Yes. And Ryan said, yes. And Marcus Lemonis.
That show is fantastic.
And it's still, even though it hasn't on anymore,
No, it's
still
worth watching. Yeah,
so relevant. And he believes
especially
it. Go ahead.
if he covers a business that's in an industry that you're in.
Oh,
You
and
have to watch
he,
that
he does a
episode.
lot. He does a lot of food businesses.
Right. Yeah,
He did a lot of food businesses and like people. He believes in people, process, and product. And
yeah.
he believes that the one that people fall down the most in is process.
Okay.
So
Yes.
you get the $10,000. Do you have things set up on how you're going to use it?
Absolutely. Or is it just gonna go like fizzle
Cover
out? You have no
Yeah,
idea what
I get
happened.
$10,000. I cover my bills in 1 week. Okay, I'm back to where I was when I got the
Right. Yeah.
$10,000.
And that's why a lot of times people getting loans too messes up the business because it just fills a gap where it's a band-aid, but they didn't really have a process or a proper plan in place to use that money so that it can amplify their business. If you're just kind of patching the holes on the boat, the underlying issue is still there, so the money won't help, or
So
it'll be short.
David says, "How can I set up a one-on-one with Ryan?"
Well, if it's for real estate, the one-on-one won't help. I will put my info in the chat. I don't know if you can put my email.
Yeah, I
But
can do
real
that.
estate grants, yeah, that's not my expertise.
Yeah, I can do that. But yeah, I think that, like I said, the grant thing is really, really interesting. Very, 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 very. 11. Mike read this. Why did he download that?
And what I'll do is I'll connect you with my colleague Nicola Harris. She's more versed in like doing the affordable housing grants that the government has and different programs for real estate. So that'd be a good conversation for you.
Yeah, and actually, interesting. I think another person that, if you wanted to talk about real estate, well, I was gonna say no, I was gonna say somebody else, but I said no. But I think grants in real estate. I don't know.
Well, if you're a developer, they're out there. If you're just like trying to purchase, I haven't seen many grants to purchase real estate.
No, and you're definitely should be looking in the housing, get in contact with the department that handles housing. So I'm going to share Ryan's email address, the Gmail one, with everybody here who is watching. But yeah, I think it's an interesting game out there.
Yeah, and for those that want to stay in the loop with what grants and funding is out there, we do an info session the second Wednesday of each month. So we just talk about different grants and also loans and microloans that are out there as well. So that one, if you go to our website, RyanO'NeillKnight.com, you'll be able to see, you can schedule for the next one. It's every Wednesday, well, every month, the second Wednesday. So if you're interested in what grants are out there, or sign up to my newsletter. I've been trying to get more consistent and persistent with sending out information.
Yes, I'm getting stuff like you from every day. I'm going, wow, man.
I try it every day, and there's so much to tell. So yeah, I gave myself a 30-day challenge for December to get content out every day. So join that newsletter, and you can even like read the previous ones that show grants and funding supports.
Well, yeah. So I've shared, if you're watching on any of the channels except LinkedIn, I've shared Ryan's email address and his website. So it's out there if you want to get in contact with the Gala Grant Black Gala and Black Grant King of Canada. That is
Speaking of Gala, are you planning to attend the Black Diamond Ball? I've been seeing some advertisements about that already. No, not even because RBC took over as head sponsor. Not interested.
No.
I'm just curious.
No, I don't have an interest in I'm gonna say take the money from the gala and support Black business.
That would be wonderful. I would love to see that in their strategic planning.
Maybe they are, but support Black business more. And Jason Small goes, why not? I've done the gala thing. I
Okay.
I've been there, done that, got my T-shirt. Uh, no, I just don't have any interest in doing the gala thing. Like I would, let me put it this way: I would rather take the money that I would spend for them and take that money plus the money I'm looking to spend to go to the All Black National Convention in Chicago, which Boyce Watkins is holding.
Makes sense. Yes, yes. Do they have a date for that one? When's it happening?
It's happening in the like October of next
Okay.
year. So as soon as I find out, because I really want to make a concerted effort to be going to that, because
Makes sense.
the money I
Yes.
spend on that will be worth more than going to any gala.
Right.
For me,
I
I
will not
just,
argue. I will not argue with that on that.
yeah, like, yeah, you know, I'm going to an event like that, even though it would cost me more money, I'm going to get better relationship building, better stuff that I can use in myself and through myself for some of the viewers here. And
Yes,
plus
yes.
now, since myself and Dr. Tachi are building a relationship with Dr. Boyce and
Oh, you
Dr.
have to.
Alicia.
Like that is
Yeah.
mandatory.
So like,
Yeah.
you know, we are now part of a team that's doing weekly conversations of people he liked us to do conversations with, showcasing. Actually, last Sunday I hosted a conversation with this lady who she's really top level when it comes to homeschooling for Black children, and her organization done, I think, Black schooling of over 100,000 Black children.
Okay. Wow. Like so, she teaches parents how to do it.
No,
Or,
she gives the tools and then on how to
yeah.
do it, and how she does it herself, etc.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Black Demo is a great networking opportunity. We all know that you're networking. Well, okay, Jason, I'm going to come back to you. How many people who attend that net is working?
Okay.
I,
Interesting.
I,
So
like,
I'm guessing. So Jason Small. I'm guessing you go to the Black Diamond Ball.
yeah,
Like
you probably got
and,
and hey, all power for you if you want to go to those things in networking. I can build a network without having to spend all that money.
you don't like to take a night and just get pretty up, and go
I'm first of
enjoy
all,
yourself.
so I am not pretty. I'm handsome.
Nah, man. When you go to the Black Diamond Ball, I'm seeing people that they have to get pretty
Well,
up.
I'm handsome. I'm not pretty. I
Yes.
just leave it at that.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, for those who like to do that, great. That's fantastic. Just for my journey, I've built relationships not having to do that. And networking is fine. And hey, all power. I'm not being critical anymore. It's just for me, it's just not my thing. It's not an effective use of my time, and many great people there. I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear. And I know there may be many great people there, but it's just not me, Jason. So hey, go there and no problem. More power to you. It's just not my
So I'm
lane.
curious, beyond the All Black Convention for 2024, is there any other event that you look forward to yearly that you'd want to attend in Canada, like in GTA area? Is there any that usually you would
Not off
attend?
the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Not the
I
Harry Global Awards isn't on.
No.
No. Okay.
You should invite Sean Cuffey on the program. I have invited him on the past, and he's not responded. So that's no problem.
Hey,
you know
we'll
what?
send another note.
Yeah, you know what I'd like? Actually, I'd love to see an event celebrating great Black Canadian men.
Okay.
I would go to that event.
Right. Speaking of which, there's a grant program that just got renewed that allows for cultural events. That might be an idea to put in to execute something like that. I like that.
Yeah, I think that would be, and actually, I can't divulge too much, but I'm in the planning stages of an event celebrating men in general this year. I won't go into too much detail, but we are in sort of the high-level planning stages of doing that, but I won't get into too much.
Would it be around like Father's Day or later?
Potentially Father's Day.
Oh, solid.
Yeah, potentially Father's Day. So we will see. So yeah, I think that, and Black Diamond Ball, yeah, I got other things to do. I got other people who are like I'll not saying I'll probably saying this. I've been to these events and people are there more to look good than to build relationships.
Gotcha.
Right? So
So
that's just me.
more, I saw something in my email, and I was curious if you are starting to use it. StreamYard can now stream live to Instagram.
We did that on Monday.
Yeah. So how's that working? How'd you like it?
I love it. The only thing is we use a platform to do our live shows, not live podcasts. These are live shows. Thank you. Because the work I put in this, it's a show. That's just me. The only thing with StreamYard doing to Instagram, unlike other platforms where you set up once and you're good, every time you do it to Instagram, you have to get a new stream key.
Okay. So you have to set it up.
And the thing is, preferably you got to do it a few minutes before you go live, because if you do it on Instagram a number of different times, the stream key could be different. So what I do is, and I think also too, you should have another StreamYard key tab open just in case. Because what you have to do is, if you're doing it, and you only can do this, I think, through desktop right now, when you turn on your stream, you want to make sure that the StreamYard volume, your Instagram volume is turned down, so you don't hear it. You're not hearing two voices at the same time. So I'll admit, when I first started, I'm going, "What's happening here? What's happening here?" So what I did is I did it through everything, the live broadcast and the broadcast or the setup to Instagram on the same browser. And I just made sure that the browser tab was on mute, so there was no volume. And it was, so I think it's a good thing, but also it can take away audiences from other platforms. And for me, I'm like, YouTube is my number one platform, so it could potentially take away people from YouTube to watch it on Instagram. And I want to drive analytics on YouTube, not on Instagram.
Wow, gotcha. Okay.
So it's a good thing to have. And the nice thing too is, if you're using Stream and you do that, you should have a second tab open of your Instagram channel. So I was even now more multi-purposing, because I was responding to comments on Instagram tab while doing the other thing. So David Archer was on, and we were brought. Actually, I started to do that on last Saturday night on Primetime Saturdays. That's when I first started to do it.
So as you said that you're doing a lot of the behind the scenes, in my mind, I started thinking about the team that you're building out. And we talked about Ripen. Did you see Ripen put out an email talking about Save Ripen? We need, I guess, extra money or support to get this program back. It looks like they might get canceled or closed down.
Well, okay, let's take a break and we'll get into that, because I know a little bit about. It's interesting what's going on with Ripen, and I'll just leave it at that. But okay, let's just go for a break, and then we're going to come back, and I'll get more into the Ripen stuff. People may know, what are you talking about? What's Ripen? So, and I saw you promoting it in your newsletter also.
Right.
Okay, so we'll come back in just a moment. We'll talk about some of the funding Olympics, because we talked about that at the beginning. We're going to continue to chat about the funding Olympics. So we'll be back in about 90 seconds. Here we go.
And that's what I feel like. You feel like you're the Harriet Tubman of the mind.
I am.
I feel like I'm I'm one of the Harriet Tubmans of intelligent Black people. Like, I want to liberate y'all from being left behind and ignored and oblivion. No, really, the rappers get all the attention. Seriously, does anybody else feel this way? Like ignorant Black people, they'll be all up, getting all the headlines on the Shade Room.
Overly sexualized Black folks.
Like the twerkers and the, just people that, don't always represent the best of us, the diversity, like people like Dr. Vibe. Like, everybody should know about people like Dr. Vibe. Dr.
Really
Vibe he's trying to do good work for Black people.
Dr. Vibe from Toronto. Good to see you, my brother. Dr. Vibe. Everybody follow Dr. Vibe. He has a great show. He's very good at what he does, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Okay, so let me hop into this. What's up, Dr. Vibe? How you doing? Everybody, if you see Dr. Vibe in the chat, everybody go follow the Dr. Vibe show. Dr. Bob is a real smart brother and a good human being. I like the guy a lot, and he's very intelligent. And I think everyone should pay attention to what he's got going on. We got to shine the spotlight on the intelligent Black people out here that are really doing the good work. Don't just pay attention to the rappers and the celebrities. You know, a lot of these people are losers. Your true winners are your people in your community that are really having your back. You know, helping us to have stronger families and a stronger community. So Dr. Bob is in that category. So you might see the Dr. Bob show in this chat. If you see him, please go follow him. Okay. All right. So anyway.
Okay, we're back. Good morning to Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia and the B1 family as always. So say that we're here on the Morning Vibe with Ryan and Dr. Vibe, December 22nd, 2023. So Ryan talked about this platform Ripen. So what Ripen is all about, it's a government supported program amongst many, and that's one of the things that when I communicate with Americans, I tell them about these programs. That we don't got that thing like that here. We don't got that here. We don't got that here. And basically, what it does is it provides resources of post-secondary students for projects, as they call projects, of up to 80 hours to help you and your business out. So you've got projects to do, etc. So I've been a user of that resource for at least 2 to 3 years now.
Right.
And it's been very helpful for me. Like, I mean, it gets my time back and allows me to work on my business, not in my business. So I know Ryan, I've seen in some of his latest communications, he's been out there promoting it. So Ryan, you've got questions. I communicate somewhat, and that's actually ironically, I sent out a request because I had a conversation with a senior project manager of Ripen, say, hey, you should come on the program and talk about this. And I go, oh, what's your audience? What's your this? What's your this? I'm going, oh my gosh. So I'm going to, over the holidays, send a response back. Hey, it's free publicity for them. And I said specifically Black Canadian businesses and entrepreneurs. And I thought that would be the hook to say, yeah, let's do it. But that's okay. Some will, some won't. Somewhere, some will.
Yeah.
So,
true.
what are your questions about Ripen?
Well, I had seen, and for those that don't know, so you can get a student and not they pay, like the government.
Yes, that's another thing that's very important. After
Yeah.
they finish the project of up to 80 hours, the student get paid $1,400.
Right. And so I saw an email from Ripen talking about help us save Ripen. It's looking like the program might be coming to an end. Maybe this is the last fiscal year for it. So I was curious. Yeah, I guess it's not been renewed. So maybe this is going to be the last few months of it. And that's why I started telling people, it's like, hey, now's the time to get your projects in because this might not be around for long.
It's interesting. I have heard different. I heard a few months ago that that's different, but I don't know what's going on communications wise in there. But I would say at least till the end of April, the program is live.
Okay, that's good.
I'd say March, April, the program is live. So those who are wanting to take advantage of it, well, Ryan can give you help if you want. Get in contact with me because I have a meeting January 8th with a senior consultant from Ripen. I keep on saying Ripen,
Yes.
Who I developed a relationship with like early this year, and I thought she had disappeared. And then I was in a conversation with someone. They mentioned her name, and I said, "Oh, is she still with Ripen?" He goes, "Yes." I go, "Okay." So I sent her an email, and she said, I see that you have a lot of requests on the platform. Hey, please feel free. If there's anything I can help you with, please reach out. Bang. So that is done.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'll be able to give some more information on Ripen on after January 8th. But if you have any questions in between, email myself. And then if you have any questions, I can get you in contact with someone who I can rely on at Ripen to help you out. There's also another program called Venture for Canada.
That one I haven't had success with getting through. How's that one going for you?
Neither myself. I put some requests in last year, and then I went, and they went, no, it doesn't qualify. I go, what? What? I go, and actually, and they have been sending me emails because I have them on their email list, and they're looking to relaunch their program late spring.
Okay.
So you can actually register now for their next launch.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I'll check that out and get registered and let people know, because that's one thing with our businesses. And you mentioned it, being able to work on it instead of in it, pulling every lever to make sure the machine operates. But having those initial team members definitely can help strengthen and
Absolutely.
get more stuff done.
Like there is one role that I have put out for on Ripen. I had actually 2 different roles. I had 4 people apply for each one within a week.
Excellent. And that was on the Ripen platform?
Yeah, within a week. And 2 of them, was it 2 or 3? 2 of them are already onboarded. And actually, I also have some students coming in from different colleges and universities for their winter term that are going to be out the gate January 8th. Bang, they're good to go. And one of the gentlemen from Ripen, he's actually he's done the Ripen program a number of times before, so he gets it, he's on it, etc. Bang, and he's located in Saskatchewan.
Okay, excellent. Yes.
So that's the world of Ripen. Okay, so let me just, you are fine and safe. Let me just get this up. So that's the world of Ripen. So again, if anyone wants to get information, if you're a Canadian-based business. Now, again, the funny thing is, actually, David Archer and I had a conversation about that after his appearance on Monday. So he's applied his business to get on there. So
nice.
For me, earlier on this year, I think I'd mentioned this before, the application process for business was just crazy because they have a third-party software, and I'm not going to give the company's name, and I just thought it was ridiculous, to be honest. But they told me that no, they have to put this in now because companies were taking advantage of the process. So I had to provide photo ID, incorporation number, which is the photo ID. I went and then I tried to use my camera on my computer. It wouldn't work. They said, no, we can't recognize your device. Then I had to go to my cell phone, and it took 45 minutes for their software to recognize me. I just said, but also Ripen has another program called Advance Ontario, which is the setup again like the Ripen program, but it allows you to use a student for, and I don't know if I think it's only for Ontario-based businesses. Using one student for 80 hours on a project, but it also opens it up for international students.
Okay, and that was the
Advance Ontario.
Okay,
but the thing with Ripen is too, all the students have to be Canadian citizens or be legally live. I don't think foreign students can participate in the Ripen program, from last I understand. A few things. Opal Inspire says, good morning, Opal Inspire. Hope things are going well in the creative world. Will this info be on Discord? I guess I have to. Should I put it on Discord? I don't know.
Hey, absolutely.
David Hobson, I sent Ryan an email about the real estate contact. See, I like David. Make a decision, take action.
Excellent. Yes.
Earl says, yes, use those resources. Yes, they're the resource. That's the thing. I think one of the things I wish for everybody here is get information, but share it through you. Don't just keep it in you. So the Ripen information, and it's been around for a few years. Hey, get resources and offload some stuff. Okay, here we go. Brenda says, I use Ripen. It has helped my business a lot. I even had a student from Carleton University who worked with us at New Life Project Inc. There you go. There you go.
Excellent.
There you go.
And shout out to Brenda out in Ottawa.
There you go. Thank you for the Ottawa thing. Yeah. So anything else? There's always things going on in my legend mind. Anything else you want to chat about, Ryan?
Well, curious your approach to Christmas. So as it's 3 days away, would you say you're all done with shopping, or is this weekend the blitz? Are you going to be with me there on Sunday?
No, I don't do those things. I don't do those things.
I love shopping on Christmas Eve. I don't know why people feel it's like the worst day. There's usually nobody there. I don't know what people say like it's busy. It's usually
all
very
that stuff is done. Now the
okay.
real
So
question for me
you're
for
ahead.
me though, I do work over the holiday season. And
Okay.
people say, "Oh, don't you take some time?" Yeah, I time down, but the thing is
Hmm.
that there's less distractions,
Okay.
right? So think about it this way: less distractions.
Hmm.
You basically have from after today till January 8th to get stuff done, probably with the fewest amount of distractions for that period of time during the year.
Yes. Okay.
So I am we going to be doing stuff without distractions, catching up on stuff. Done.
So for your team, do you give them from now
Yes.
to the 8th?
No. I ask them what they want to do,
Okay.
but the
So
thing I
I
ask them
know
what.
some people from the second it's pretty much back to work. So you're
Yeah, but
more 2 weeks.
school doesn't come back to the 8th.
True.
So
Yeah.
that to me, that's the real date back is the 8th.
Okay. Yes.
Right. But I've put it out there to my team, say, what do you want to do? Do you want me to give you stuff or not? If not, no problem. If you want, no problem. Like, and I do work with some students and they're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
So bang. So I leave it up to them. It doesn't matter because I'm doing something. So even more so when they come back, they'll have more stuff to do that's available for them to do.
Okay, that's good.
But for my personal brand, I've got a lot of things because things have changed brand wise over the last few weeks. So I've got to update my profile.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Well, I have to include the stuff with Dr. Boyce, Dr. Tachi, which now has increased the reach of what I do by, well, really 1.5 million people.
And so is Indie Soup live? Did that
Not
launch?
yet. I got to reach out. Well, Dr. Tachi is giving me some more administrative stuff, giving me indication that it's closer. But that's again one of the things I have my team and whoever is willing to work on it, creating more content for them. Because ideally, I want to set up that when she launches, she has a season worth of content all in one shot, and I don't have to worry about uploading. It's all there, ready to go. Bang.
Okay, excellent. And for you keep mentioning Dr. Boyce Watkins, what episode or what show are you what show are you producing or interviewing on?
I'm not producing, but what he has myself, Dr. Tachi, and some others doing, he has something called the All Black National Convention, which is his annual gathering that you've been to.
Yes. When it was in Philadelphia.
Right.
Shout out to the Eagles.
So Eagles are in a little bit of a downturn right now, but they'll fly. Eagles fly. Let's so fly. Eagles fly. But before we go any further, Fitness IQ says the Christmas rush is cool, but the scrap is left. And month end, year end though too. Yes, interesting you mentioned. I was speaking to a member of my constellation yesterday who's a high level banker in California, and he oversees a department that deals with commercial loans. So every quarter they've got to do that, make sure that everything is up to par. I guess this is the end of the quarter right now. So he's actually going back into work, at least virtually, on Boxing Day.
Gotcha.
Right. So I hear you. The end of year, end of rush. Yeah, that's a lot of things. So that's another reason why it's good to maybe get some stuff done at the end of the year because there's less distractions. But you were asking, so in regards to Dr. Boyce Watkins, yeah, he has this annual event called the All Black National Convention, which is a celebration of Blackness and different than a diamond ball. This is all people who are talking Black community stuff, like educators, etc. So what he is doing now is he has Dr. Tachi, myself, and a few others interviewing people who either presented there or people that he met there who feels that they need to be showcased.
Excellent.
So at least probably once a week, and it may even be this Sunday. No, it won't be this Sunday, but definitely starting in January, once a week. And that's, I think, here's an interesting situation. I think we had mentioned over the year that he had one of his Instagram accounts with 400,000 followers shut down for no
Damn.
reason. And it sounds like he was reading or talking about Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Powernomics.
Okay. A gentleman that I got to meet at the convention when I went in Philadelphia. But it's curious to me, a gentleman like Dr. Claude Anderson, and he wrote the book Powernomics and I think Black Labor, White Wealth, and a few others.
Mm-hmm.
Those types of projects and the work that he's been trying to do isn't fully funded. Like, why is it that we can't get together around these types of projects?
Well, here's a perfect example Dr. Boyce mentions periodically. Dr. Claude Anderson lives in Washington, DMV area.
Mm-hmm.
Howard University is in that region. How is it that Dr. Claude Anderson has never been invited to speak at Howard University?
How do you explain that?
I do explain that because probably a lot of the money that Howard gets funded, some people say, no, we don't want, they would say a radical Black thinker speaking on our campus. Think about it.
But it's backwards,
Dr. Claude Anderson has never been invited to speak at Howard. If people get that, think about that. If you know who Dr. Claude Anderson is and you know Howard University, they'll invite entertainers and all that to speak.
I don't doubt it.
Right. But when it comes to people like that, you don't hear from like, going to and I'm based on what Dr. Anderson has shared with Dr. Boyce.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just a little bit of a go back to Black Diamond Ball. All these entertainers and personalities show up at this thing. We can't stop. We have to stop giving so much shine to entertainers.
Or if they're like, it would be great to see them use that leverage and influence really to then steer people to community development, like true Black empowerment.
It is different. And I think it's an interesting conversation. I'll get to your question in a moment, frequency of promotion. I don't know what you're saying. That's a good idea. I don't know what you're talking about. So please continue your comments. And that's an offline conversation, right? So I need you to just put back in the comments what you're referring to. Christopher Kerr says, maybe we should transition to Fanbase, a social media platform. Good comment. And for those who don't know about Fanbase, Fanbase is a Black-owned social media platform. Building on that too, Dr. Boyce Watkins started his own social media platform for the B1, which is Black One community, a while back. He called it initially Black Enough. He now has called it B1Nation.us. So I think in the last few years, he's got nearly 100,000 people. It's getting close to 100,000 people on the platform. Once it hits 100,000 people registered, he's going to charge. So I'm suggesting if you want to be part of that community, get in now, because in a while you'll have to pay to get in. And if you want Black consciousness, conversation, content, that's a place. One of the places I would suggest.
Solid. Another gentleman that I met at the convention was Jay Morrison.
He's been in a lot of interesting stuff
but
this year.
I'm still a fan. I know, hey, when you do high level transactions, same with Robert F. Smith, people talk about, he's had issues with, I think, something with taxes. It's like, if you're not having big problems, you're not doing big things. So that's why I don't discount what they do based on hiccups that they might have.
You know what's interesting too, and again, I listened to Dr. Boyce on a somewhat regular basis. He says, interesting, how come when someone does something like a Jay Morrison or someone like yourself, an ACBN, when you do something, you make a mistake, the Black environment, a lot of people are on you, but they don't complain when a Microsoft does something, a Facebook does something, they don't complain.
Yeah, or it's not top of mind for them.
No, like if they don't complain. Like, you don't complain about Instagram,
right?
You don't but I know a Black run organization that's run well or has the best intent. like an ACBN or whatever, when they make a little mistake, let's shut them down and da 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 da.
Well,
You
and
know,
that's
so-
where like what Jay Morrison has been able to do with like creating that investment vehicle for
Yeah,
the Black
well,
community to purchase real estate.
it's interesting
That's been
because
done, yeah.
there's another gentleman who Dr. Boyce is aligned with named Julian Gordon, high
Yeah.
real estate guy, and him and Jay Morrison have been at each other about Jay's fund. Like
God.
they've been having a tat about Christopher Carey. Some people say happy birthday to a celebrity that they never met, but won't even say happy birthday to their own mother.
Oh, boy.
LOL.
It's
And you know what? I will say facts,
right. That's rough.
but it's true. So since you're the gala king, Frequency Event Promotion says, what event stuck out to you both this year? Well, I'm going to maybe start that now. We can probably continue it a week from Friday, but any events for you, Ryan, stuck out for you this year?
I thought I was in Nova Scotia for the full name. It was a summit, like the Black Canadian National Summit. And was it this year or was it last year? I have to remember what year this is.
So many galas.
What year
So many
was
galas.
I swear it was this year. But it sticks out because there's 1,000 organizational leaders, Black individuals, and talking about the UN decade for people of African descent.
Which is ending soon.
2024 is supposed to, they're having conversations about making it permanent. That we'll see. That's neither here nor there. So now you have a lot of people in the room that are very focused on supporting the Black community. And the decade had 3 main priorities. It was recognition, justice, and community empowerment or development. And I noticed we're always stuck on recognition. We're always stuck on, how do we get recognized by the government for what we've been through? It's like, and very little over the last 10 years has been focused on the actual community development piece.
Recognition of ourselves.
And yeah, like true, like Canadian Black empowerment. And so now economically, I feel like we've dropped the ball over the last 10 years. A lot of the money that's been flowing through hasn't created infrastructure that's now going to be long-term. And if you look at any of the things that was created, all of them had end dates or deadlines. So I'm curious what now out of the decade for people of African descent can we point to? And remember, there was an RFP out for the Canadian Institute for People of African Descent.
Yes.
And now they created a website called blackcommunities.ca. The federal government created a website and it's on there. The Institute for People of African Descent, it doesn't exist. So that I'm like, why would they put that on there? Because now I have questions. I was like, the RFP came out 2 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago. The program was supposed to be funded and developed by the end of March 2024, and nobody has been selected for this money. So if it's on the website and it doesn't exist, somebody needs to explain where is it. Like I think it was $5 million that was supposed to go to developing this thing, and it does not exist, but it's on the website. So I have some questions.
I have a statement. The more I know, the less I understand. That's my statement.
That's why we have to ask the question.
You can
we should invite. Was it Kamal Kara, the minister?
Miss Kara?
Diversity. This is within her portfolios. Like, so we should ask her, hey, this website that you guys created is showing all these initiatives. Can we get an explanation on each of these initiatives, on where they're at and what's next?
I will reach out to Minister Kara via her officer, and also I have a personal way of getting a hold of her. So I will certainly, she's on the list of people I have to say holiday greetings to and ask that. So I agree. So Earl Anderson, you have this link here. Let's show up. Caribbean Business Opportunities Seminar 2024 tickets. So this is a long link, and unfortunately, I can't paste it. I can only show it up on the screen. So Earl, I think you have my email address. If you have my email address, I can probably post that in the comments section of all the platforms that are watching this. So if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it, or at least give us a little information on what the event's all about in the comments in LinkedIn. What's this all about? When is it? Costs, etc. Who, what, where, when, and why. So that was an event that stuck out too. I think I had a number. It's actually, I didn't usually don't do this, but I'm reflecting a lot. A lot of great wins happened this year. I think one of the ones that come off the top, the stuff with Dr. Boyce.
That's a big win. Absolutely.
That is, and it
Can you
makes
tell
me
a
want.
bit of the story how that even got started, because I remember how you told me you initially connected. I
Oh
thought
boy,
it's a great example of what people should be doing to actually make better connections and grow those types of
relationships, develop
Yes.
relationships.
But the initial connection
Okay,
is
so this is of a period over 2 years.
right.
So Dr. Boyce has a beautiful, wonderful, very smart Black woman as a wife named Dr. Alicia Watkins. And it's about 2 years ago next month, I reached out to her on Instagram saying, hey, really appreciate all the stuff you, et cetera, et cetera. I'd love to have you on the show. And maybe next Friday, I'll actually show you the timeline of DMs. So she said, hey, no problem. Here's the email address to my manager. Sent the email address, ghosted.
All right.
Right? So I get, is it early? And this is why I've got to try to remember. But I don't know if it was this year during Buy Black's Restaurant Week in the spring. We were at BootCon. And this is before I changed my dieting a little bit. I was having some of their rum cheesecake. And shout out to Amanda. Shout out to Amanda, who's gone on to bigger and better things now to herself.
Oh, gotcha.
And I always find it interesting. I always get the most views on Instagram when I'm doing an Instagram live eating food. Don't know why. I guess people don't want.
They have a Food Network for a reason.
Yeah, and well, they only like things going in my mouth. They don't care about the things that come out of my mouth, right? Right.
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm doing the Instagram live. Okay, so a few days after, I noticed, I just took a look. Oh wow, all these people viewing. So one of the people that liked it was Dr. Alicia.
Okay.
And while I was looking at this, she was on Instagram. She was on right at that time. So I shot my shot. I said, hey, Dr. Alicia, hope you, Dr. Boyce, your family are fine. Always do that. I always do that from everybody. I hope you're doing fine, because we never know where people are at or what they're going through. And I said, hey, I tried to reach out to your manager, but I've never heard anything back. She says, okay, let's book something now.
Solid. Right. Okay.
So we did it right then, right now. And then she appeared and she said, at the end, she says, I really enjoyed this. I'd love to come back. Listened, took action, ended the conversation. And after we finished, we already had the next date booked. So she comes on almost every month, and she brought up the idea. Well, so whenever I meet fantastic people, I say, there's other fantastic people I think they should meet that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always in my mind to say, I'd love to get some of my stuff on their platform, but when the time is right. So then I had her come on a show with Dr. Tachi. I introduced them both together.
Right.
We had an offline conversation. They hit it off. Like, just like, bam. Like, I just sat back and mentally took knowledge bombs. They're just back and forth, and their message say, hey, why don't we do a show together? She says, I'd love to. Bang. They get on the show together. And then she invited to do something on Fly Nubian Queen, which is one of their platforms, which has 540,000 followers. Okay. And then I watched a broadcast that Dr. Alicia was hosting with some black women, and she said during it, it's always so tough to get other black women on the platform. Ding, 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 ding. So that's why I brought Dr. Alicia on. So about 3 weeks ago, I was hosting Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who pops in and making comments on YouTube? Dr. Alicia.
Okay. Yes.
By the way, Tom C. Graham, thank you, Tom. Long time no chat. Met Tom via Clubhouse, which I have not been on forever, but that's a whole other conversation. So getting back to the conversation, Dr. Alicia, I say, hey, Dr. Alicia, if you'd like to come on. She said, sure, send. So I'm doing this while the show is live, family. Gotcha. While the show is live. So I'm saying, hold on a minute, and send her the link. She comes on. She doesn't turn her camera on, but I don't care. She's there.
Mm-hmm.
About 5 minutes after she comes on, guess who says hello in the chat? Dr. Tachi.
Yes.
Dr. Tachi, would you like to come on? Sure. Bang. So this is Black Lady Magic happening. Aisha, Lala, Dr. Tachi, and Dr. Alicia. So after the conversation finishes, I DM Dr. Alicia saying, hey, thank you for taking the time for coming on. Really appreciate it. I'd say, hey, would you and Dr. Boyce be interested in having this show on Fly Nubian on any of your platforms? She says, yes, Boyce is interested.
Okay.
So I said, live or replay? No, he would want it live.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I said, all right. Was it the following? So the following weekend on a Sunday, was it? I'm just trying to. So I think it was. I don't know if it was the next day or within the week. Was it Sunday? No, it was the week after on a Sunday afternoon. I see on Instagram. A group has been created on Instagram that includes Dr. Boyce, Dr. Alicia, Dr. Tachi, and myself.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So something's going down here. So Dr. Alicia goes, well, two things. First of all, she goes, check your email. Okay. I check my email. There's an email from the program, their programming head, or either it was either him or Dr. Boyce, saying, giving me access to the Fly Nubian Queen channel on YouTube. Okay.
Okay.
This is real.
Right.
I just go, okay. So I just take a look at the Fly Nubian Queen channel. Go, how many thousand subscribers?
That's wild.
I go, okay. So so myself, Dr. Tachi, and a few other people we are managers on Fly Nubian Queen, meaning that when we do shows, we can post onto and distribute through that channel.
Right.
That's part one.
Okay.
Keep on going. What were you going to say?
Yeah, just curious. So when you're doing the interviews, it's able to now go.
No, that's a separate thing now.
Okay.
I just talking about part one. So part two on that Sunday communication, Dr. Lee says Dr. Boyce would like to know if you and Dr. Tachi are available this evening at 7 p.m. So it's like 2 p.m. on a Sunday. I said, okay, we're gonna make ourselves available.
Yes.
And she says, great. Dr. Boyce would like you to do an interview of someone who presented at the All Black National Convention. Okay. Once we said yes to that, within 15 minutes, contracts sent to both of us.
Yes.
Within 15 minutes. Done.
Yeah, and solid.
So we hosted the conversation. And after we just said, hey, we hope we did a good job. Boyce said, you guys were brilliant, or you guys are excellent.
Solid.
And he says, we'd like you to host individually now more of these. So their program director, I won't give her name, but now her, myself, and Dr. Tachi, we are on a text messaging group, and we communicate all the time.
Excellent.
And she said I had an offline conversation with her. She goes, usually when, Dr. Boyce, gives me someone to put on the platform. I need to investigate and do some research on them. He said, with you and Dr. Tachi, he said, just get them. You don't even just get them.
Yes.
So Dr. Boyce has been, and this is a great indicator. We always say you never know who's watching. He had been watching myself and Dr. Tachi over a period of time, because when we went on our first conversation, he came into the room and he goes, basically said, guys, usually, I've had experiences in the past having people appear on my platform and they haven't been the best of experiences. And I sort of shut it down for a while, but I've watched you guys. You guys are the real deal. You are at the top of your game. And I'm happy to have you here. And then when he opened up the live part, he said, hey, everybody, et cetera, I'm only going to be here for 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'm going to the back because these two people can handle it. Done.
Right. And that's building out the roster, man. Now, like, being able to trust other personalities with your brand is huge.
Yeah. And I think it's a really important thing. Again, it all comes back to the relationships. Right. You want to get people that know, you want to get them to know, like, and trust you.
Yes.
Right. So here's a gentleman and his wife, the guy has over 1 million followers on all his social media platforms. He's done over 20,000 YouTube videos live. And he has built his business without any sponsorship from outside companies.
Well, remember, he is a PhD in finance, so he's very in tune with how to make money, with investing and
the thing is, he don't have fancy setup like myself. He's just been persistent, consistent with his message. But so that's the story.
And I appreciate you sharing that, because that, like, the nugget that I take away is there doesn't have to be a mega production to make an introduction for yourself. It's like, hey, make those connections.
And I also got to lean a lot too on another gentleman, Mary Armstrong, and I know Frequency Event, you have some questions, and he said something really good, and he's been doing some amazing. He always does amazing IG lives, but he did one last week about pricing. It was for 2 hours. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I played it for someone yesterday. Within half an hour, I got it. This is what I needed to hear. No one has made pricing so clear to me. Within half an hour, because he went over, there's 4 different types of pricing. Not going to get into that conversation. That's a whole different subject. But and he said, when you're first introducing yourself to someone, they're buying you, and you better have a story. And to the point that he said that if you've got to ask yourself, why are you doing it 3 times? Not just and he said, forget the word help. It's overplayed.
Right.
Overplayed. So I don't use the word help. We all help people, but what are the, like, for example, ACBN, I would say, expands business resources and knowledge for businesses. Something like that. I don't have to use the help. You want to help is, you got to think a different vocabulary, because everyone's saying the same thing. And if they hear, if you hear the same thing over and over again, they're going to get tired. People say, I've heard that before. I impact Black businesses to become revenue generating and create opportunities for other Black individuals. Something like that.
Yes.
That statement sticks out. And that just off the top of my head, I came up with that. You have to have a message that's going to have people pay attention.
Valid, 100%.
So Frequency Event Pros, Mary Armstrong is the truth. Yeah, he watches a lot of the IG lives. Jason says you should treat them to a night out at the Black Diamond Wall. Great way to solidify that. Who should I invite? Them? Okay, let me tell you something. To get just Dr. Boyce up here, let me just say I'm not going to give the exact amount. You're looking minimum $20,000. So
Black Diamond Ball brings up performers. They're probably that amount. They should look at.
No, I think the Black Diamond Ball is more at least entertainment stuff too. Like I would rather pay. I would rather pay for Boyce Watkins. If you want to get me out, we have Boyce Watkins come here. Then and his wife. She has her PhD in social work. She has her has her certificate in trauma, certified trauma specialist. Also, she's been counseling Black individuals, Black families, and Black couples over 15 years. To me, that's more value than going to a Black Diamond Ball.
Okay.
Right? So that's, Jason, that's where my head's at. Not everyone's at, but, even the other day, Taraji P. Henson. I think people know that name.
Okay.
She was on some media platform crying and complaining that she doesn't get paid the same as non-melanated actresses of her stature.
Level. Right. Oh, man. And even, oh, my gosh.
Oh, and there's a big lawsuit. What's his name? Terrence Howard.
Yes, that was on Empire.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. But the thing is, we got to realize, many of us, especially in entertainment, they are being valued by people who don't look like them.
Right. And they've gotten away with it for so long. That is standard operating procedure.
Why should you be surprised? So this is why we've got to create our own so we can value our own.
So true.
And again, that's why we go back to what said Claude Anderson. Read that book.
Mm-hmm.
It was written many years ago, but it's still, a lot of it's still very applicable today. Right?
Yes.
When you don't write the check, you don't have the power.
Right. You see that in all different aspects of life.
One of the books that Dr. Boyce recommends is called How the Jews Invented Hollywood. And I'm not being anti-Semitic at all, but you read it, it shows you how they created from scratch this entity of media power.
And one thing that shows is that it can be duplicated. Like we could create our own media. Like Hollywood is not even more than 100 years old. So things like this, if we start now, can get that powerful.
Gosh, and I was watching something on Instagram. There's a guy been posting some stuff lately, and he was talking about. He showed a clip from Dennis Kimbrough.
Yes.
And I can't remember it, but it was just really telling that we've got to get out of this mentality of entertainment and looking up to people.
We got one with the ratios.
Yes.
Yo, how much money is spent on education versus entertainment? And I think the average was 50-1, and in the Black community, it's 200-1.
Yeah.
For every dollar spent on education, we're spending $200 on entertainment.
Yeah. That when it's funny. Many years ago, I actually had a chance to meet. He came to Toronto.
Oh wow!
Long time ago. But I just saw that. I said, nothing else needs to be said. It's right there. Frequency event promotions goes so many questions, not enough answers. I think there's a lot of questions. I think there are the answers out there, but are we willing to ask the questions and be honest with our answers?
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. And again, frequency event, we can tackle a little bit of it here. We can cover it more in a week's time.
That's next week. I do have to jump soon. So
yeah. So parking lot. So parking lot, your questions for next Friday, and you want to ask us about this year. I think a great event that I had this year, was blessed to be part of, being, I think I'd mentioned this before, but I haven't. I had a chance to attend a presentation by a gentleman who used to be the VP of global operations for Volvo.
Okay, right. Yes.
And the nice thing is, the event was free.
Okay.
Had to travel. Yep, had to travel an hour and a half to get there. I said, no, I'm going.
Yes.
And there must have been about 250 people there, and there may be this many people who look like me in there, and I didn't care. So this is a little game tip. When you're going to events like that, and if someone's presenting, get there early.
Mm-hmm.
Why was it good to get there early? I got there early, and I sat down half an hour one-on-one with this guy.
Ah, right.
What are your odds of spending half an hour one-on-one after his presentation?
Slim, if at all. And it definitely won't be a half hour.
Right? We sat down one-on-one. He said, hey, can I get your contact information? He gave me his cell phone. Just anytime you want to chat with me, text me, da-da-da-da.
Yes,
But one of the things he talked 2.5 hours about leaderships and teams. And nice too, this event was catered, by the way. So I paid the price for going out an hour and a half. Right?
Yeah.
Got to be strategic, family. Got to be strategic. And he talked an hour and a half about leadership and teams. I still got the pile of notes on me because it was amazing. He said, one of the things he said is, I never go into a meeting if there's charts and graphs. If there are no targets on them, I don't look at them.
Right.
I don't look at them.
Yeah, bow and arrow in the dark.
Yeah.
No target.
But he said that, if you're a leader, if you have a good team covers your blind spots.
Mm.
That's never come out of my head. So most of you will have to have a team. If you're trying to do it by yourself, it's actually another great event we went to. Ron, you were there when we went to that luncheon at that golf course.
Right, with the CEO Global.
CEO Global, yeah.
Yes.
There's some serious stuff dropped down there.
Absolutely. And stuff like that, like conversations around, a table of people that have experienced
day-to-day, what the day-to-day life of running a business is like around different business leaders.
Yes,
yes. And I think one of the things you and I chatted about after saying, hey, we should start something like this.
Yes. That's
like every few months, get together and just chat. So maybe that is something we should do in 2023 then, Ryan. Like go to
2024.
2024.
We're gonna do it next week. I'm free. I'm off.
Have some black owned. Go to a black owned restaurant and just have a conversation with some black owned people and just, hey, yeah, we'll talk about that offline. I think that's something I'd like to do. And
Roger Dundas, sparked a little bit of it with the conversation we were having at Vegan Delights. I think something like that expanded.
Yes. That is. Yeah, do it like maybe once every quarter.
Okay, yeah.
And just invite a select group of individuals, and we just have these and just talk about, because Ross, the stuff he was dropping that day when we were at Vegan Delights, I went,
yes.
I'm going, what? I'm just listening and taking it in, but have that sort of discussion of that. I think. Yeah, that's something we're going to project and do. Ryan and I will chat about it offline in 2024 and make that happen. So that's it then for today, because you probably have your 10:30 today.
Yes.
So enjoy your shopping.
Yep. Sunday I'll be there.
Oh no, not shopping. Well, there's a difference. There's shopping, there's buying. So you'll be doing buying.
What is that?
Okay, hold on. So when you shop, you're looking at stuff. Yeah, I'm just shopping. But when you're buying, that means let's go. Cash register done.
And that's why I like, because it's in and out. It's like you see stuff that you like and you buy it. And that's a good point. Yeah, I have no time for shopping.
You're in the buying mode.
Holding the bag and walking around, following the person that's shopping.
You're going to be in buying zone and buying mode. So for everyone, have a good and safe weekend. For those who are subscribed to my channel, replay of Primetime Saturday tomorrow night, replay of Black Canada Talking on Sunday, replay of Morning Vibe on Monday, but we are back in the saddle next Friday. And for those who follow me on YouTube, especially YouTube, you're going to be seeing frequency of content because I got some game in regards to creating YouTube shorts over the last week. There's been so much that's happened over the last 2 weeks. I got some major game that was given to me about YouTube shorts recently. And I'm saying, okay, so that's another thing I'm going to be doing over the holiday season is scheduling YouTube short content for the next month. So I'll have content on YouTube every day, including these conversations on top of that.
Hey, love it. Looking forward to it. Good stuff.
All right, so you can watch replays of this epic conversation on different channels, the Morning Vibe at YouTube and Instagram. Well, not for the Dr. Vibe show on YouTube and Facebook, Afro Caribbean Business Network, Facebook and YouTube, Ryan O'Neill Knight on YouTube and LinkedIn. We will make sure that we're going to broadcast on Instagram next Friday. So I'll say, Ryan, this is how I did it, and I'll be multi-purposing. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe show on YouTube and also hit the notification button. Also, subscribe to Dr. Vibe on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Also, if you want to email me if you want to do any sponsorship stuff or do business product or service on the show. And then finally, Discord group. Please join. I'd love you to join and also you can provide some information there, like Carolyn from Energy Juice Shack Bar has done. Still waiting to get stuff from our accountant friend. Oh, what was Sean DeFreitas?
Okay, yes.
But there's other stuff, especially during the holiday season. I'm going to really be dropping stuff in there because I got no interruptions and distractions. So Ryan, excellent. Enjoy the holiday season. We'll be in communication during it. Any last messages before we exit and stage left?
I know as entrepreneurs, our mind never really stops, but definitely take time to decompress, relax this holiday season. But like Dr. Vibe said, it is a great time of less distractions. So make sure and take time to strategize for 2024. And let's not go into the year and just wing it. Let's actually have proper targets, like the gentleman mentioned. So I'm looking forward to taking this time to, relax with family, but also strategize for 2024. Because the $1 million mark has to be there. Like if we're not hitting $1 million 2024, we missed the mark. So I'm looking forward to really pushing for next year.
All right. So David Hobson says, Ryan, I'm waiting on your email. LOL. Fitness IQ Cam says, happy holidays, Joe. Happy holidays to you and your family. Tom C. Grain, you stuck around.
Happy holidays from Kemba, with Kemba and Andrea from Keen
Realty. Keen Realty. Yes, I've got to reach out. They've been on my alleged mind over the last week or so. So I've got a long list of people. So that's what I'm going to be doing on Saturday, sending a whole bunch of video greetings to people. So I got my list. Tom C. Graham, thank you so much. Make it a great. Thank you, Tom, for sticking on, and hope you subscribe wherever you're watching. I'll give one last thing that I'll share. So for those who may or may not know, I'm doing some hard work in regards to assisting a group of 10 African refugees, which is something that Ryan and his lovely wife are doing also with African refugees. And I had Wayne Harris do a presentation.
Okay. Yes.
A sharing session on, when was it? Tuesday or Wednesday? I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I can't remember which one. And it was great because when I was in there, he was virtual. I was at the look, and he was up on the screen, and we're going back and forth. But he said something that was really, he went in on them. He said, because some of them came late, a lot of them came late, and he said, let me tell you something. In this country, if you look like us, you're either early or don't show up.
Interesting.
He said to them, where you come from, wherever you come from, they tolerate lateness. It's a different ball game here.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the way he put it. You're either early or you don't show up.
Okay.
That was a very strong message. I think all of us should think about. You're either early or you don't show up. And it was great. I recorded most of that message, and it was, I got to look, because he went in on the financial stuff. He went in on business stuff. It was really, really good. So remember, you're either early or don't show up.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, ladies, everybody here, always don't just manage your time. Okay, let me say, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher and wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. I know that we got everything done, and Frequency, have a great weekend. All Frequency event is already thinking 2024, because I'm already getting stuff from him about 2024 events. So
yes,
he is always on the move. So God bless, peace, well, keep the faith while good. Enjoy some of the replays, but we're back live next Friday. Take care of yourself. God bless, peace, well, keep the faith, and walk good.